Okay. All right. All right, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's going on? Watching the Dan Lake podcast? No, you're not. You're watching Dan Lake live stream. Excuse me. This is my second one. I'm still trying to figure out how to work OBS. This is kind of like just like another test one. Chico G. I got a track I think you'll fuck with, gang. What's your IG? At Dejon Paul _ That's right, Dejon. Don't take this from Adam22 laying down pause. Dejon putting hours in. Keep it up. Absolutely. Shout out to Sin Dad, T-Rell Dad, and I Can Never Give Up. What's the deal? All right, they said the screen was too dark last time, so I went and brought another light. So I have two lights on me, which is why I can barely see, but we'll get through it. I still need to learn how to work OBS some more, to be 100% honest. I really need to learn how to work this. Instagram.com. I'm trying to see if I can pull up. You know what? He didn't even have the clips. Now that I think about it, he didn't even have the it's not even posted on Instagram. This is why Pun wears sunglasses all the time. That makes sense. Put Adam22 in his place, Dejon. Gay style. Gay style is crazy, but Dark Rainbow in the building. What's the deal? I'm going to crash out on Adam once we get 100 people in the live. Palm trees in the chat. Dark Rainbows in the chat. Once we get 100 people in here, I will crash out on Adam. In the meantime, put my phone on silent. In the meantime, welcome to my live Adenale live stream. I'm gonna be doing these every Monday, Friday. I might start doing them Wednesday. Do y'all think if I do them Wednesday before the show, will that affect the live count on the actual show? It's Ash Bash Fire. We're gonna talk about that. I guess we could start with recapping what happened on the Adam was actually paying you a compliment. No, he didn't. He paid me a compliment or agreed with me on one point, but there was also some very disrespectful things, and then the whole title and clip being called Dejon Gets Marked Out on his own podcast. Many would say, I would say nobody marked nobody out. We just had a heated debate. 9 p.m. is too late. That's what I've been saying. So this is the thing. This is my thing with the show. Let's talk about Dan Lake Podcast. When we get 100 people in here, we'll start talking about, we'll start talking about 16. But I'm available to do, as you can see, I'm available to do the podcast any day of the week at any time. This is what I do for a living. My full-time job is being a blogger, being a journalist. Whereas, I don't think my other co-hosts could film willy-nilly during the day because they have kids and other jobs, other hustles, XYZ. This is my life. So if it was up to me, we'd be doing a Dan Lake podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or at least every Monday, Friday at 12 p.m. I can do that. You get what I'm saying? It's always other people, and that's what I always say. I work better by myself. I'm not the best team player. I don't like working with other people because other people can't match my tenacity. I am tenacious. I am overly ambitious. I am focused. I am dedicated. No one can match my work ethic. That's why I was fair to say 3 times a week and never missed an episode. My other co-hosts, former co-hosts, can't say that. bring in topics. I used to make a meme every week for Fair to Say, whether it was a verses or anything, just to get controversy on the timeline started about music, XYZ. My work ethic is just unmatched. A lot of times I see people, Rich Grinder can DoorDash the night shift. That's funny. Let's be real, Ash Bash doesn't care. I'm not going to say she doesn't care. I just think Ash Bash is unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, and that's another point. I know we're going all over the place, but the argument wasn't supposed to be just me and Rich Trapper. I was supposed to be crashing out on both of my co-hosts. I don't feel like the Halloween episode was just fucked up by Rich Trapper. I feel like that's how it looks because he was the only one there to get the argument. But Rich Trapper, how he treated Bo Jackman was fucked up. And then you got to think how Ash Bash flaked 2 minutes before we went live last week. She literally texted the group chat saying, hey, y'all, I'll see y'all next week. I'm not going to be able to make it. At like 8:58, we go live at 9 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I really was supposed to come here and crash out on both of my co-hosts on this week's episode about how they both fucked up the Halloween episode. But Ash Bash wasn't here. So when I'm calling her, she's not answering. When I'm texting her before the show, she's not replying. Literally another 2 minutes before we supposed to go live, she hit me back like, oh shit, I was asleep, my bad. I'm about to be on my way. I'll be there in like 30 minutes, which ended up being like 45 minutes. So, yeah, Ash Bash act like she doesn't give a fuck. Maybe you should pre-record so you have groceries in the bag if there ever is a mutiny. But then when we didn't go live and y'all didn't have a chat and couldn't watch it live, that was a problem too. Because, you know, this show just started being live. This wasn't a live show before. You can't treat the guests like that. They're going to boycott the platform. Do you feel that cool to crash? It's cool to crash out on your host? I feel like it's cool to be honest with people. I think my brand is not holding my tongue and communicating with people how I feel about them. I'm not coming here calling them a bitch, talking underneath their clothes, calling them out their names, disrespecting them like that or nothing like that. I'm letting you know, like, I don't appreciate the way you treated our guest last week. That was wrong. I don't appreciate you flaking on last week's episode over a personal issue or being 45 minutes late to this week's episode. I think that's wrong to the fans. Now, once during the entire episode this week, did Ash Bash apologize to the fans? Fuck me. Ash Bash never apologized to the fans for missing last week's Halloween episode or being 45 minutes late to this episode. Why is our guest here before you? Imagine you go to a show to be interviewed and you there before the co-host. That's crazy. So I'm not going to say Ash Bash don't care about the show because she asked to be on the show, to keep it a buck. I'm just going to say Ash Bash, who I love and who I think brings a comedic element. She's funny. She brings some sparkly personality when she's not asleep or when she's not tuned out. When Ash Bash is present mentally and when she's here, she brings some energy to the show, but I just think she's unprofessional. And anytime I try to address that, y'all make me the bad guy. Y'all tell me I'm doing too much. And we hear from her, she lack accountability because she's a woman. And then she going to start coming with excuses. I got a store. I got kids. I got a job. None of that has anything to do with this podcast, unfortunately. Last guest was very knowledgeable on music. Absolutely. Ash Bash is my sit. Shout out to her. Ash Bash got, I read that. She for sure could care less. I had to say a lot about that show yesterday. What did you have to say? This show should be you, Rich, and Brandon. I wouldn't hate that. Ash Bash isn't taking things seriously. I think that, I feel like the same energy she put into her music career, she put into this show. Very, very little. And I think the results of both her performance on this show and her performance in her music career are equally yoked. Now, yesterday, I went, shout out to Junkie Cartel, too. I have to open up this care package. Shout out to Junkie Cartel. I pulled up in there. They gave me all this merch. Shout out to Junkie Cartel. Shout out to them. All of this is medium clothes. I don't really wear beanies, but maybe I can find somebody that wants one. I wear beanies though. And then I got the sweatsuit. Shout out to Junkie Cartel, man. The motion hoodie, motion sweatsuit. Let me hold it the right way. Gave me the orange and black one, so I can look like a pumpkin. All is well though. All of these clothes are medium. This is a medium t-shirt, medium pants, medium hoodie. If you want me to rock your merch, send me some medium merch. I rock a medium. You should have one co-host. The reason I want more than one co-host is if my co-hosts don't show up, we still have a show. You get what I'm saying? All right, so back to what I was saying. The reason I brought up Junkie Cartel, one, shout out to them for the merch. But so when I pulled up on Junkie Cartel yesterday on Melrose, right by Marathon Burger, pull up. He got a nice merch booth out there. Cop you some merch from Junkie Cartel. He was telling me, stall Ash Bash out. She got like 20 jobs, 20 hustles. And I hear that rhetoric all the time. Even family and friends be telling me like, oh, you got to stall Ash Bash out. She got a store. She doing this. She doing that. She retired. She got kids. You don't have kids. You don't know what it's like. Woo, woo, woo. And at the end of the day, none of that has anything to do with me and my show. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's not fair to the viewers. It's not fair to me that my co-host is coming late or sleeping on camera and missing episodes, regardless of if they're a parent or not, or if they got a store or not, or if they got another job or not. At this point, I'm chalking it up to, because if it was anybody else, I would have been fired her, to be honest. Obviously, I fired my former co-host for less. Like, they just didn't want to talk about LA rap and didn't want to engage in messy topics, and I fired them. But they was at least there. You get what I'm saying? And not showing up hella late. They was at least present and not showing up late. Where I'm at with Ash Bash is I'm looking at her like she's a smack. I'm looking at Ash Bash like she's our smack. She's the female version of smack. The same way I see T-Rell and them irritated with Smack's performance, Smack not showing up to this, Smack not showing up to that, Smack be at the motorcycle club, Smack be late, Smack be eating on camera, Smack be falling asleep on the set of the show, XYZ. That's kind of what extra medium is crazy. I wear a plain old medium, brother. But I think that's kind of what Ash Bash role is over here. Like, she's our smack. She's the female smack. Like, she's just bullshit. She show up when she want to show up. She say whatever she want to say. I feel like there's a bit of an intellectual disparity between Ash Bash and myself and Rich Trapper. I feel like we'll be having like, because, you know, we could joke around and have fun too, but I feel like when we get into like a serious music topic, Ash Bash should just be lagging behind in the conversation. A good example of that is when we were talking about the RBX class action lawsuit against Spotify for the fake Drake streams, and then she just start talking about the Drake Kendrick lawsuit. And she's talking about, well, I think that, you know, he shouldn't have sued Kendrick, and it's like he didn't even sue Kendrick, he sued Universal because of the Kendrick record. It's like, we're not even talking about that lawsuit. That lawsuit has already been thrown out. We're talking about a whole nother lawsuit. That's just one example of the intellectual gap between us. So sometimes it makes it hard or uncomfortable. It just feels awkward. It doesn't flow well when we have a serious music topic, music business topic, and she's like lagging behind in terms of intellect. But she's not my first co-host, female co-host, that I've had that issue with. I've never had that issue with a male co-host, but female co-hosts, I feel like, and that's why I'm so fascinated with Tam. I think that's why I was so very fascinated with Tam, because to me, Tam is one of the few black female podcasters in this LA hip-hop media space that is intellectual, articulate, well-spoken, professional. Even when she showed up to be a guest on this podcast, she was here before Rich Trapper and Ash Bash. Like, as soon as I got here and let the production up, I had to go right back downstairs and let Tam up. Like, she's extremely professional. Dejon, stop capping. You about a 2X. Nothing wrong with the size. You got me fucked up, nigga. Ain't no damn 2X. We got 100 people here. We're going to start talking about, y'all weird. Nah, no, I can't trust this, y'all. He got Flacco level delusion. Brother, I wear a medium, man. Y'all are weird. What do you think about Big Deal entering the podcast space? Do it up. as someone else that also have left FMW, even though I think he kind of more so got booted off FMW, I voluntarily left, wrote a whole resignation and left. But nonetheless, we're both former FMW podcasters. It's important to go leave and do your own thing and show them niggas that they ain't stopping nothing. They don't own the internet. They don't own YouTube. We can go out here and do our own shows, make our own content, and then impact the ecosystem and West Coast podcast scene on our own. As I've been doing, I think Big Deal is going to do that all 2026. Shout out to Big Deal. Bears in the chat or I'm gone. Why Adam crack on you so bad? I feel like he didn't go too hard. I feel like the title of the clip is misleading, and we're going to get into that in just 1 second. Bo Jackman was supposed to pull up, and he just now texted me what time. Like, I didn't tell him 3 o'clock. Let's be real. Ash Bash doesn't care. Why y'all on Rich and Ash? They cool as fuck. They cool. I'm not saying they not cool. I'm saying that, to me, okay, let's wrap up the Rich Trapper topic too. Or no, because that kind of goes to the Adam thing. But Rich Trapper didn't, like, do nothing devastating in the world. Like, I'm not about to fire Rich Trapper. Like, no, he was rude to a guest. It ruined the episode. I can read a bunch of the comments, and that's what I'll do. Get us back to 100, and we're going to start talking about the Adam video and that. Oh, we at 100, 106. Okay, bet. We're going to start talking about that in 1 second. Let me read the comments from the Rich Trapper episode. I don't know how to pull stuff up on the screen, but we're going to read the comments. I screen record the comments from the Halloween episode, and I'm going in order. Biggest Skeeter, Grinder wants some of Bo Jackman, LOL. RB Long, RB Gonzalez. Rich Grinder got banned from every gay bar in LA. That's why he's so upset, LOL. 7268 PAO. Rich Grinder is a punk, no cap. He in denial of himself and fake. And he's broke. He has all this aggression because he can't accept the fact he likes men. He got exposed. Chris Thomas, S4Y. Dejon, you don't need Rich Grinder. Get rid of him ASAP. A stuffed dog would be better. I'm reading them in order. Man, this show been getting better, but Rich Grinder got to go. He a horrible podcaster, and we tired of him for real. Everywhere he go, they find out how lame he is, and he's gone. Lady Drea 7302, Dejon can do this podcast all by himself. We don't need Rich or any other co-hosts. Keep the guests coming with you only. You got this, Dejon. Chase Nova, Dejon really a cheeseburger shirt. Fuck them. Who ZH5SZ? I don't know if Rich understands the way he fights and wants to control the situation. XYZ. Giovanni Burgos and Hefe was just there. Rich Trapper ain't have none of his energy. He keep trying to bully when people are smaller than him around. Right, Dejon looks exactly like Tough Stino's baby moms. Who the fuck is Tough Stino's? Salute. I ain't on Bo Jackman's side, but everyone likes being the bully until the real bully pops out the cut. All right, I could keep going on and on, but my point of reading these comments is to confirm the notion that Rich Trapper ruined the Halloween episode with his disposition towards Bo. He wouldn't let our guests speak. He was rude to our guests. He had like an underlying, not even underlying, he had an overlying animosity towards our guests, and it was just extremely unprofessional. I tried to convey that to him on this week's episode, but instead of just being like, you know what, Dejon, you right, I did overdo it with Bo. It won't happen again. I'll make sure that if we have a guest, you know, we'll have our disagreement and then we'll keep going with the episode. But he didn't do that. He decided to push back, and obviously that led to us being talked about and clipped on Adam's Scream on No Jumper. We're about to get into that. I'm about to crash out on the 16 Kiwi head. I'm going to read some chats and we're going to get straight to that. Y'all just going to let him say he wear medium? I do. Ash Bash, can you come get on this D? That should be a super chat. Dejon, your size a 3XL, no Diddy. I should kick you out. Where's my mods at? Where are my mods? Keyboard Warrior, Miss Joe City, Culture Campus. Where are the mods? Medium fries, not a shirt. Fuck you. I eat large fries. How does John wear medium? I wear large. It broke like 3 times my size. Now, I already read that one. Maybe you can invite popular locals who didn't make your cut to prove themselves and spit live. A mini versus Tam is annoying. I like Tam. Show the tag, bro. I can't read all of a sudden. What do you think of Yaja saying she should be paid for content posts? I mean, that's her page. Hopefully she take the money and buy Hooked on Phonics because the bitch can't read or spell or write English. Illiterate bitch. Dejon, stop it. Adam went ham on you. He said you're the most hated former no jumper host. No, he said that he hates T-Rell more than he hates me, and we're going to get into that right now, but I don't give a fuck what he said. Rich sassier than Dejon. Did you fire Rich Trapper? No, I'm not firing Rich Trapper right now. I'm not firing anybody right now. Visionary Star 8957, $2 super chat. Dejon, do an interview with Tough Stino. Who is Tough Stino? Let me Google that. Tough Stino. Okay, nothing's popping up. Who is this person? Sounds New York. Tough Stino. That gives like a New York rap. Who's Tough Stino? What does he do? A rapper, podcaster, or something? Nothing really important is popping up. Tam could host an Apple Music show. I agree. She's very professional. You should do your own music stream. I used to do Grade Your Music. I'm bringing them back now that I got my setup right. All right, let's get to talking about this. About Adam's disrespectful ass recap. Let's start with something positive, then we'll get to the crash out. Something positive, Adam said that he could agree that when it's your platform, you can invite who you want. So, I want to start with a positive point. He said, I can agree that when it's your platform, like No Jumper is his platform or Dan Lay's my platform, you can invite who you want. So Rich Trapper telling me basically, low-key like, why is Bo here? Why did Bo pull up? Why did you have Bo pull up? Nigga, this is my shit. What are you talking about? This is my show. This is my platform. This is my office. The fuck? What do you mean, why did I have Bo Jackman pull up? Because I wanted to. He went viral that morning for a music take. I'm like, that's very on brand. He got into a heated argument with another No Jumper host over a Draco music influence take. That's great conversation for a Dan Lane podcast. Regardless, if Bo Jackman went viral for chewing bubblegum, it's my show. If I want to have Bozo the Clown on my show, it's my show. Like, I can have whoever I want on here. Why do you guys think that it also bothers my co-host so much when I say it's my show? Is it not my show? Like, I've been doing Dan Lane podcast since 2020. Like, I'm still trying Rich and Ash Bash out as co-hosts, to be honest. Like, Rich Trapper started in July. Ash Bash started in May. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all might, like, Ash Bash might be coming up on 6 months of doing a show. Rich Trapper has not been doing a show for 6 months. I've been doing this show for 5 years. 5 whole years I've been doing this show. Of course it's mine. What are you talking about? It's my show at the end of every night when the every episode when the production come up with their hand out asking for their money before they leave. I gotta pay the camera people. When they want their money at the end of every episode, not this episode, that episode, every other episode, when they want their money at the end of every taping, they come to me. They're not coming to y'all. It's my podcast when it's time to pay for that. At the first of the month when the landlord want his money and knock on the door and waiting for his check, I'm the one who got to go get the cashier's check. It's on me. So how come it's my podcast when the rent due and when the podcast production people want to get paid, it's my podcast. But when we sit on camera and you disrespecting guests and you showing up late and you sleep on camera and you missing Halloween episodes, then it's our podcast. I don't have the right to I don't want like discipline. I don't have the right to discipline you. I don't have the right to even tell you I feel like what you're doing is inappropriate or wrong. Like, that's crazy. It's whiny. It's like saying it's my basketball. Okay, but if something goes wrong with the basketball, are you going to fix it? No. If something goes wrong with the basketball, I'm the one who has to go buy a new one. I'm the one who has to pump air into it, XYZ, so it is mine. And it's not like I just come sit down on the show and be like, it's my podcast. I don't do that. When you are hella late, when you sleeping on camera, when you missing episodes, or when you being extremely rude to the guests, and I'm correcting you for that, and then you trying to act like I don't have the right to correct you, I remind you that it's my show. That's why I'm correcting you. It's not like I just unprompted tell you that it's my show. Side note, get Ashanti Major on this pod, please. I have to admit, I love this little gay man. I appreciate the little. How much you paying that bum Brandon? Anything above $1, you're losing. When am I paying Brandon? Y'all don't have meetings between episodes. I have made it very clear I do not like to talk about the show off camera. I feel like that's content that y'all are missing out on. So if we have a meeting about the podcast off camera, y'all aren't privy to it. And that's content I feel like y'all deserve. So if I had told Ash Bash, I didn't get to tell Ash because she showed up late. But if I had told Rich Trapper how I felt about how he treated Bo Jackman off camera, we wouldn't have. What would we be talking about right now? What would the Adam clip be? You get what I'm saying? Like, I like to talk shop. I did that when I was on Fair to Say. I did that when I was on No Jumper. Here we go again. I did that when I was on Fair to Say. I did that with my former co-host. I enjoy talking shop on camera. I want full transparency. Full transparency. I want you guys, we're in the streaming era. Streamers are showing you their whole life 24/7. I'm not trying to hide nothing from you. So if I'm getting into it with my co-host, I'm not going to keep that a secret and keep that off camera and keep that hush hush. No, I'm going to let y'all see it. I'm going to let y'all see how we work through it, because guess what? Maybe that can apply to your life. I'm sure you guys have co-workers at your job that get on your motherfucking nerves and that you have issues with. Or if you're running a business, you might have employees or people that's working for you that get on your nerves and showing up late and missing shifts and XYZ. We're all going through these things together. So that's why I don't do the whole check them off camera, talk about it off camera shit. I always wait until we're on camera to have these conversations. One, I want it to be documented. I want it to be documented exactly what I'm saying to you. And two, I don't want to rob. I'm willing to give everything to the viewers. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people I've worked with, especially when I was on Fair to Say. I'm willing to give it all to the viewers. I don't hide nothing. I tell y'all what's going on in my life, everything. It's a lot I could be lying about, hiding, trying to conceal from the audience to benefit my career. No, I'm real with y'all. I'm transparent with y'all. So if I'm pissed at Rich Trapper because he disrespected our guest last week and everybody in the chat, in the comments, was not feeling that shit, when I pull up the next week, I'm going to tell him to his face. I was very pissed at Ash Bash. The reason I didn't go off on Ash Bash for being late and for missing last week's episode was because our guest was here. If you pay attention, when me and Rich Trapper was arguing, I had the guest off camera. I actually had the guest wait outside in the kitchen. There's a full kitchen outside my door, obviously. I had our guest, DJ Artistic, shout out to him. I had him wait in the kitchen because I didn't want him to be around us arguing like that. I feel like that's unprofessional and rude to a guest. So I told him we're going to start in 30 minutes, and we came in and did our thing. But the intention was for me to go off on Rich Trapper and Ash Bash because that's what's on my chest. That's really how I feel. Ash Bash, you got me fucked up. You told me 2 minutes before we started last week that you weren't showing up. Rich Trapper, you disrespected our guest. Instead of just having a back and forth with him over this topic and then moving on and having a fun Halloween episode. But let's get the key we had. Let's get to 16. I believe, let me read the headline. What's the exact headline? He said, marked out. Adam reacts to Dejon getting marked out on his own podcast. Can someone please tell me where I got marked out? Can someone please highlight or point out where I got marked out? Because to me, getting marked out is like when Brick Baby or Free Brick, when Brick or Ed Hefe would be falling asleep or nodding off on the podcast and Adam is too pussy, too scary, too much of a punk ass bitch to tell them to wake up because he know they're going to slap the shit out of him or press his line. That is getting marked out on your own podcast. Or how 4 Extras used to deal with Adam and make sure he wouldn't bring this person or that person to his show and press lines. Oh, you ain't going to have no ops on the platform while I'm up here and talk to him crazy. That's getting marked out on your own podcast. I ain't none of you. I ain't no bitch ass nigga. You got marked. You was scared of a water bottle house phone through. Let a nigga throw a pin top at me, yet alone a water bottle. And you'll see what happened. You got bitched out on camera multiple times on your own podcast. By your employees, you was paying niggas. I ain't paying these people. You was paying people that have disrespected you verbally and physically on camera. You've been marked out on No Jumper. I've never been marked out on a Dan and Lay podcast. I wish one of my co-hosts would talk to me the way I've seen people talk to you on your own platform. Or even that situation when you had American Cholo's racist ass up there, and he brought all them, I think that was Hispanics, I'm sure they were Latinos. It was like 20 of them up there, and everybody had guns, and you had to crawl and hide behind AD and beg him to handle the situation. That's getting marked out. You've been marked out at No Jumper. I've never been marked out at a Dan and Lay podcast. That's why I didn't understand the title of this clip. Adam reacts to Dejon getting marked out on his own podcast. Where did I get marked out? Rich Trapper and I, there's like many moments in the clip where we're both laughing. The most disrespectful thing Rich Trapper said to me was when he called me Brandon, which I am insulted by. I don't like being compared to Brandon, but that's not marking somebody out. Calling me Brandon isn't a mark out. He never called me out my name. He never threatened me. I feel like the most disrespectful thing he said outside of calling me Brandon was when he said, "Why did you have Bo Jackman on the show?" I feel like if that's anything, maybe that's the mark out when he asks, "Why did I have somebody on my show?" I feel like that's disrespectful, but that's not a mark out. I feel like that's just a disrespectful question. And I instantly corrected him and told him if I wanted to have Cicely Tyson, rest in peace, on the show, I could, because it's mine. I pay the bills here. I pay production. You should ask them why they want to be on the show and what's the reason they show. Oh shit, that disappeared. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat and it disappeared. I'm not good with that. Dejon, get Ashanti Major on the pod, please. I gotta check her out. Adam can't talk because he literally tells his cats not to bring up certain topics around him. Like, nigga, you get marked out every week by Point and Shoot. You getting marked out by We Starving. Shout out to We Starving. We Starving is whooping you with the screenshots. You are a whole weirdo that was confiding in a fan page, a Stan account, having full-blown conversations with this account, sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. You was gonna SWAT AD's house, you fucking weirdo. Like, you got marked out by We Starving. You get marked out by Point and Shoot. Now you trying to talk like him. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed Adam tries to talk like Point and Shoot? And when I worked in No Jumper, you couldn't say those words. Anytime somebody tried to say Point and Shoot, Josh or somebody would turn around. Don't say that. Don't say that. You can't talk about Point and Shoot and No Jumper. So it's like, Point and Shoot, the sheriff is the boogeyman to this nigga. Start docking they check. Well, see, how they're getting paid, how my co-hosts are getting paid, they get to split the super chat. So any super chats you guys send in, that's going to Ash Bash and Rich Trapper. They can split that down the middle, but they're not going to get super chats if one, Rich Trapper, you're acting hella irritated and upset and negative all the time because you don't like Bo Jackman. And Ash Bash, you ain't going to get no super chats if you're not here or if you showing up 45 minutes late or if you sleep on camera. You get what I'm saying? Or if you just sitting there acting like you on your phone, the whole episode acting like you want to go home. So in order for them to get super chats, I would think that they would both need to be here on time, both need to be mentally present, both need to be locked in. What's upcoming for the holidays? Man, we supposed to be doing a Friendsgiving, but I don't want to go get all the food, decorate the set, go all out for this Friendsgiving, and then Ash Bash call and text me 2 minutes before we start like, "Hey, I'm not going to be there. I'll see y'all next week." That'll really piss me off because the Halloween episode, me and my assistant Zara, we literally had to go to 3 different stores. Dollar Tree was one of them, and then 2 Halloween stores to get the decorations. We had to get, Ash Bash already told me what was going on in her personal life earlier that morning. So I told her, I'll go get your Halloween costume. That way you ain't got to stop. You can just come here and you can already have your costume to put on XYZ. So we already did a bunch of shopping. You think I'm going to go do all of that for the Friendsgiving episode and then it's just me and Rich Trapper sitting here? You sound crazy. You stood on business. Dark Rainbow in the chat. To be fair, it was a smoothie. I thought it was a water bottle. Can someone please tell me if Brandon's joining the podcast, please? I don't think Brandon's going to join the podcast right now. He's like a friend to the show. You did get marked out by T-Rell 80 during your first No Jumper interview done wrong. What interview was y'all watching? Because I called them employees. I insulted them. When did I get marked out? When did they call me out my name or disrespect me? The disrespect was when T-Rell said, you shouldn't be worried about black people being on the radio, which is so ironic because now years later they're on the radio thanks to my efforts. But he said, you shouldn't be focused on if there's black people on the radio. You should be focused on your own platform. Why don't you go do a podcast? And I had already been doing a Dan Lay podcast for 2 years. So I guess that's it. If that's a mark out, then that's a mark out. But how I responded to that mark out, to that insult, to that ignorant ass, unprepared question was with, I didn't come here for corporate consulting from employees. And that's what went viral. How they treated me it wasn't what went viral. What I said to them is what went viral and people talk about years later. So how did they mark me out? You making too many excuses for Ash Bash. You just need to replace her. Simple. But then if I did that, y'all would be like, oh, Dejon's tripping. Dejon's the problem. It's not his co-host. Dejon's the problem. Dejon would beat T-Rell up. Stop playing easily. Any day of the week. I would beat T-Rell or Smack up. Any day of the week. Should Kendrick credit Draco for influencing GNX? I've been said Kendrick should acknowledge Draco at the pop out or something. Back to Kiwi Head. So he agreed with me on the point. Let me just play that audio again. I don't know how to work OBS, so I can't pull up stuff there. But I can.
If I wanted to invite Cicely Tyson to sit up here across from me
and
be interviewed on this platform, that is my call. This is my jurisdiction.
Up here because the last time Bo Jackman.
This is a conversation that I had on camera, and people give me a hard time for it, which was basically saying at a certain point, this is my platform. I'm going to do whatever I want on my platform, and yes, you can have a say as a co-host and everything, but the idea of you thinking that you're going to really be able to, like, make me do anything that I don't want to do, like, at the end of the day, I could fire you. I can, like, never talk to you again. And that is something you should probably keep in mind.
So that's one moment throughout the live stream or whatnot where Adam was agreeing with me. We can't agree on that. If it's my platform, I can have whatever guests I want to have on. Rich Trapper, if you don't like Bo Jackman, oh well, you should say, hey, I'm not going to join y'all this week. I don't fuck with Bo Jackman. But don't come dressed in a Ricky Bobby costume and sit there and go back and forth with this nigga the whole time. Like, say what you got to say and then let's move on and have a good time. But that wasn't the case. At the same time, I don't want to make it seem like I'm sticking up for Bo Jackman. And when Bo Jackman asked me to take down the episode and have Rich Trapper take down the clips he posted, I said no. Because Bo asked to come back to the show. And I think that's very important that I note that. That's very important that I know. Bo Jackman asked to come back to that Dan Lay podcast. I did not hit Bo up to come on the show again. He hit me up asking could he come back. And I told him Rich Trapper was going to be there and he agreed. So that's why I don't feel sorry for Bo Jackman. I do feel like Rich Trapper did too much and ruined the episode. But I don't feel sorry for Bo because he asked to come back. And he already saw how bad Rich Trapper treated him last time. Rich Trapper called him a bitch last time, got in his face, walked him off the set. I just clapped him off the show. Rich Trapper walked him off the set. Rich Trapper got to see it a couple times. Like, it was really, really bad the first time. Unfortunately, our former production crew lost the footage. But if that had happened to me, well, one, I would have fought him because you're not going to disrespect me like that. You're not going to sit up in my face, call me a bitch. I'm a man at the end of the day. But if I wasn't a violent person like Bo isn't, if that had happened to me, I would have just never came back. I never would have agreed it. I never would have agreed to podcast with Rich Trapper again. But for whatever reason, he asked me to come back to the show. So once I saw the moment on No Jumper about the whole Draco topic, I told him, yeah, you can come back to the show. Are you free tonight? And he pulled up. So I don't feel sorry for Bo because he put himself in this situation. What I feel sorry for, or who I feel sorry for rather, are the fans and the viewers of the show that couldn't enjoy a fun Halloween episode because of Rich Trapper's disposition and behavior and his whole attitude and demeanor. I don't feel sorry for Bo Jackman. Because you know this nigga don't like you. You know how he verbally disrespected you and called you all type of bitches the last time y'all sat together. Why would you want to sit with him again? Why would you agree to sit with him again? Why would you want to sit with him again? You get what I'm saying? And then I invited Bo here today for it to just be him and I. And he just texted me, but I'm already midstream. The fact that you let Rich Trapper bully your guest is wild. And he's a kid. Bo isn't a kid. He's a grown man. Dejon for sure beats up Adam22. Adam's never been in a fight in his life. I will put hands and feet on Adam. Nah, Tiny Cud got that. Dejon whooped. Who's Tiny Cud? The chat is saying Duno marks you out on shame on you. Excuse me? What are you talking about? I feel like Duno and I had a very intellectual conversation. He said that there needed to be more Hispanic artists on the LA Rap Report card, and I agreed with him. So how is that marking me out? Because I agree with what you're saying. I said there need to be more black people on the radio, and he vehemently disagreed with that. But long story short, we got to see more black people on LA radio, thanks to my efforts, thanks to my protests and years of that rhetoric, putting that rhetoric and banter on the timeline. Dejon, you should host an official final versus battle between Lily and Ash Bash. I'm not doing that. I feel like both diss records from both of them could be better. Even Lily Baby dropped a diss record today that I felt was trash. I might post it, but I ain't trying to do all that. Your pod is great because your pod around 10 p.m., 12 a.m., and that's when I'm up. Okay. Shout out to you. Trap ain't in. He has to stop all the erratic talking. It's very teenagers, if that's a word. Duno bullied you into saying we need Mexicans on the radio. When have I ever said we need more Mexicans or more Hispanics on the radio? I never said that. I said we need to. I agreed with Duno when he said there should be more Hispanic artists on the LA Rap Report card. I'm not against that. I'm not racist. So if somebody tells me, hey, I'd like to see more Hispanic artists on your report card, okay, cool. I'll look into that. The fuck? I'm not going to say, hell no. Like, what the fuck? I'm not racist. Only a racist person would do that. Duno's never marked me out or been disrespectful to my face in any regard because I don't allow disrespect. I don't allow disrespect from anybody in person. Anybody. I'll snatch somebody's larynx out their motherfucking throat. And as the only LA podcaster to run a fade this year, I have the right to say that. Everybody else so tough and gang members and Big Dog this and Destruction and Big Bad Wolf, yet ain't nobody fought all year besides me. So miss me with all that. You never seen a podcaster disrespect me to my face. You sound crazy. Dejon, don't let Rich Trapper ruin what you work hard to build by yourself. Don't let him bully anyone on your show. I made it very clear that I was displeased with Rich Trapper's performance on the Halloween episode. Even throughout the episode, I kept telling him, well, both of them, you guys are killing my Halloween spirit. You're killing my Halloween vibe. This isn't fun anymore. And then the very next week, you saw me crash out on Rich Trapper. So I've disciplined him in front of you guys for his behavior. And I can assure you that it will never happen again. Trapper is like a child low-key. Well, he's way older than me. $5 super chat for Visionary Star 8957. I'm telling you, Dejon, call a meeting with FMW, patch it up, and partner in doing a big West Coast podcast. That is not feasible. It is not feasible for me to ever, this is going to lead back to the Adam conversation, the intel of it. It's not feasible for me to ever in a million years work with FMW again. I am cool with AD. I consider him a friend. I consider him a homie. Shots AD. If AD ever needed me to do anything professionally, repost something, check out a song, grade something, support an event, anything like that, he knows I'm one phone call away. Outside of that, I can never do anything with FMW because they treated me like I wasn't a human. In my opinion, that's just my experience. I felt like at FMW, and I'm saying this for the millionth time, at FMW, I felt like you could say whatever you want about Dejon. You can call him gay, laugh at him for being gay, make 1,000 gay jokes. Ha, 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 ha. It's all funny. But when Dejon had to say something back, oh, no, don't say that, Dejon. You taking it too far. You can't do that. You can't say that. That's not cool. We don't do that over here. We family. We homies. We don't do that. We don't do that. Okay, so why do they get to say what they want to say about me? Am I not human? Do I not have 2 lungs, 2 eyes, 2 arms? Well, I know T-Rell only have 1. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? It's not fair. I felt like at FMW, I wasn't treated like a human. I didn't have the civil right. You can say whatever you want to say about Dejon Paul. But the second Dejon Paul say something back, it's like, oh, no, that's a no-go. You can't do that. So I would never go back over there. And I brought that to the owners of the company's attention on Shame on You the second time. I sat down with AD, Pun, T-Rell, and Smack. Look up the clip. Dejon Paul says no more gay jokes. I told them, stop all the gay jokes. I don't want any more gay jokes. I'm done with them. Let's end that. Let's wrap that up. And after that, we saw certain individuals at FMW keep saying gay jokes, and that's why I crashed out on them, made fun of their parents for being crack addicts, and cooked that nigga's mama crack. Because I made it very clear that there weren't to be any more gay jokes. And the owners of the company stood by. There was literally 2 owners of the company in the room while that person was saying gay jokes about me. And they never said, hey, watch out. Dejon don't really want us making gay jokes about him no more. He doing a great job on Fair to Say. Let's just, chill out with the gay jokes. They didn't say that. They let it fly. But then when I'm cooking crack for niggas' moms and letting people know that, this person got 2 crackhead parents, that's why they act like this. They want to make everybody else miserable because they grew up in misery because their parents smoked crack. And they had to borrow clothes and didn't have food in the fridge, XYZ, living in destitution and squalor because both their parents is crack addicts. Oh, Dejon, you taking it too far. Woo, that's the homie. Woo. Cool. I'm out. I'm gone. Went, got my own space, doing my own show, got my own sponsor. Shout to King Palm, shout to Cali Plug. Which way is it? Shout to Cali Plug, shout to King Palm. I'm doing my own thing. Trap too tough at times. Let the gang tough shit stay at no humper. Mac Wop would be a regular guest just to provoke me. Keem. I would power with Mac Wop. I like how sassy Mac Wop is and how messy and like schoolgirlish she is. It's very entertaining. Inglewood and Long Beach got the smartest African Americans hand down. The rest suffer bad schools. That's an interesting take. Suspect did mark you out when you compare mainstream artists like Doja Cat and Tyler the Creator with LA local rappers. No, he disagreed with me. So you guys think marking somebody out is disagreeing with them? What did Suspect call me? What disrespectful term did Suspect say to me? Because I've said on camera, Suspect to this day is my favorite person I've ever podcasted with. Almighty Suspect is my favorite person that I have ever sat on camera and had a conversation with. Like, I love talking about music with him. Those episodes of Here We Go Again and No Jumper News, even when we were getting to it about independent artists and XYZ, even when we were talking about his music and why I gave him an F, I love partnering with Almighty Suspect. The only reason I haven't invited Almighty Suspect to be a guest on this show is because supposedly him and Rich Trapper supposed to run a fade or something, and I don't want nobody finding in my office. Dejon, would you mind taking your shirt off for the remainder of the show? You would have to send like $100 super chat. Dark Rainbow still undefeated. Love the entertainment. Keep it up. Shout out to UK 415-415. Just keep being consistent, Dejon. LA in need of a hip-hop platform, not some gang-obsessed platform. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So back to the gang-obsessed platform. Adam also said, he went on to say that he should hate me more than he hates T-Rell because of what he's calling an alleged shooting incident, but I don't have to say alleged because it did happen and I have proof that it happened. I have multiple sources of proof that it happened. The main one being Josh drove me to the hospital. He drove me to Providence Hospital in Burbank, valeted his car at the emergency room, assisted me out of his truck, and helped me get into the emergency room, and that's all on camera. So why would Josh, the supervisor of No Jumper, drive someone to the hospital that isn't bleeding, that doesn't have any sort of mark or gun graze on their leg? Why would he do that? And I've already shown all my texts with Adam. I can read them right now if you want me to. I can read my text with Adam. I can read my text with Josh, where they're confirming the shooting incident. But then when they get on camera, they're like, there's no shooting. There was no shooting. There was no shooting at my office. But then why are you talking about a shooting incident in text with me. And when I mentioned the shooting, why aren't you saying, what are you talking about? When did a gun go off? Who shot what? If there was no shooting and no jumper, why did you fire the security guard? If there was no shooting and no jumper, why did you fire the security company and switch over to the same security company that Desto Dub used for the cough syrup store? Why do I have messages from Josh where he lets me know, hey, you can come back to the building now, you'll be safe, because we've switched entire security companies. That's how I know they switched from the security company they was using to the security company that Desto Dubs uses for his store. If there was no shooting, why did you fire the security guard? If there was no shooting, why did you stop working with that security company? If there was no shooting, why did Josh drive me to the hospital? Why did he drive me to Providence Hospital? Last year in December, T-Rell I sent T-Rell my medical report. T-Rell has my medical report. He read my medical report live on Community, word for word, from Providence Hospital in Burbank. So to be sitting up here acting like it didn't happen well over a year later is crazy. But nonetheless, Adam is saying that he should hate me more than he hates T-Rell, but he doesn't. And I want to tell you why. The reason he doesn't hate me more than he hates T-Rell is because the shooting really happened. If somebody just got up out the blue and was like, I was shot, and made up a whole shooting and had that all over the internet about your building, you would hate them. You would never speak to them again. You would sue them for slander or defamation or something to that extent. You wouldn't be calling their phones. You gotta think, after the Rolling Loud incident, Adam called my phone and interviewed me live on No Jumper. When I was exposed smack for liking Trainee's pictures on Instagram and following Trainees, Adam called my phone. That was just a few months ago. That was over the summer. If somebody just out of the blue made up a whole story about getting shot, you would not still be in communication with them like that. But if they really did go through that, if there really was a shooting incident at your office or place of business, and this person chose not to sue you, not to destroy your business, not to end your business, not to come for your income, then you would still reserve a little bit of love or affinity for them. You would still communicate with them because you're like, damn, Dejon could have ended No Jumper, but he spared me. What you're upset about is that I didn't follow your instructions via text, because he texted me on March 25th while I was in the hospital saying, hey, let's keep this off social media. And we're going to handle this the right way. Let's keep this off social media. That's why he's upset. So if you're upset at somebody for disregarding the text you sent them, then you can have this angst against them, but you'll still communicate with them. You'll still be cool with them. But if I had just made up this shooting incident out the blue, Adam would not be calling my phone to talk about XYZ, especially on camera. You get what I'm saying? He would hate me more than he hates T-Rell if I, out the blue, just randomly said I had been shot. No, there was a shooting incident and I got grazed. And I have various proof of that. I could go through certain channels and get the footage of me getting took to the hospital and Josh valeting his truck at Providence Hospital in Burbank. Like, it's not impossible for anyone to get that footage. So that's why you don't hate me as much as you hate T-Rell, because unlike T-Rell and them, I actually spared you. Those niggas they didn't have the power to ruin No Jumper. All they had the power to do was to spin off, take some fans, and go do their own thing. I had the power to ruin No Jumper, and I spared you. That's why you don't hate me as much as you hate T-Rell. Dejon, I'm down for this channel. Yes. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, hit that subscribe button. Dan Lay Podcast every Wednesday at 9 p.m. But this week we're going to do Tuesday at 9 p.m. because we got something going on Wednesday. Adam's wife got a boyfriend, Jason Love. Isn't that the porn star? Dejon is my boy toy behind the scenes. I'm not. Dejon, instead of a hamburger, you should have dressed up as a Catholic schoolgirl. You are creepy. You are really creepy. You are funny, though. You funny. I remember Comparator marked you out and made you leave the No Jumper News. You are obsessed with me being marked out, and I'll beat you, your mama, and your daddy up, bitch. And more importantly, Comparator didn't mark me out. Comparator was flirting with me. Comparator kept asking me, how do I have sex? Do I 6'9"? Do I give good head? How good my sex game is and XYZ. I was uncomfortable because I don't sleep with my coworkers, and two, I don't date interracially. I only sleep with black people. I don't date outside my race. So I was extremely uncomfortable. So I got up and walked out the room to excuse myself because I wasn't, and then he apologized. I can go to my Instagram DMs right now with Comparator and show where he apologized for all that unnecessary flirting. I had just went through that the week before with Flacco talking about how fat my ass is and Hall of Fame recoil. Now I'm sitting on No Jumper News with Comparator, who I don't hate, shout to Comparator, and he's talking all underneath my clothes, asking me, do I give good head and do I 6'9"? It's like, bro, why do you care? You trying to find out? Like, I don't sleep with Hispanics. Like, no, thank you. I only sleep with black people. Adam alleged that you wanted a $250,000 settlement and a percentage of No Jumper Company. Adam did not allege that, because that's crazy. I've never asked for a specific amount of money from No Jumper. I was offered an amount of money to come back. I guess I was supposed to sign something that said the shooting incident never happened, take this money and come back, and they kept pressuring it, and they emailed it to me. And I never wanted to come. I'm not going to say I never wanted to come back because, again, I did enjoy partnering with Almighty Suspect. So I can't sit up here and lie and say I never want to come back after the shooting. I really missed partnering with Almighty Suspect and doing the Here We Go Again show. So it was thoughts like, damn, I miss doing that show with them and talking hip-hop with them. But I couldn't go against my family's wishes and return to No Jumper. Once you got to think, my father pulled up to the hospital. The security guard was at the hospital. Talk about that. If there was no shooting, why the fuck was the security guard at the hospital? So once my father saw me in that situation and saw blood rolling down my legs as he sat in the room while they treated the wound or XYZ, ain't no his firstborn son going back to work for you. No. That, and I don't go against family, not my father like that. I'm not going to know. So that's why I never returned to No Jumper, because my family didn't want me to return to No Jumper. But again, in a perfect world, the gun never goes off, and me, Almighty Suspect, and Pathetic Flacco, Here We Go Again, we run that show up to it's doing, because it was doing 100,000 a week. I feel like if we kept doing that show, it would have been at 200, 250 by now a week, and it'd be like the premier hip-hop debate show on the West Coast. But that's just not what was meant to happen. Dark Rainbow in the chat, what's up? Philip, what's the deal? Dejon, what you wear, boxers or thongs? I wear briefs, ethicas, or PSDs. Stop asking personal questions. Compton AV was in Asia performing his worldwide hit Yaya last week. Looks like Compton AV is taking Kendrick Lamar pop-out concert last year. Is now flourishing from the pop-out concert. Compton AV didn't perform at the pop-out last year. Whack 100 did mark you out when you called in with Savvy Third. That's a fact. I could pull up the clip again. How was that a mark out? All Whack did was ask me, am I feminine or am I gay? I'm not going back and forth for Whack. I don't know you, sir. Click, and Adam texted me immediately after, you a legend. Let's read my text with Adam. Fuck it. Let's read my text with Adam. And if y'all get us to 150 or 200, I'll read my text with Josh. This is Adam. All right. March 25th. March 20th, and this is us talking about Mikey on March 19th before the shooting, so that you know this is Adam I'm texting. March 25th. Let me see how that lines up too. March 25th. Hey, dude, I'm really sorry about this. I was kind of in shock earlier and didn't know what to say. Just know we're on your side and thinking this was super fucked up. Obviously, and we're going to try to do everything by the book and make sure you're good and shit. I said I appreciate it. I know it was all an accident. Just wanted to get checked out and make sure everything is okay. Crazy day at the office. Insane. Let's keep it off the podcast and shit. I don't want people to feel scared. This is Adam, March 25th, 2:18 p.m. This is from Adam. When he says, I'm really sorry about this. I was kind of in shock earlier and didn't know what to say. Remember, once the gun went off, he came out his office and was like, what was that? It was like, Dejon's been shot. And he just went right back in his office and didn't say anything. All right, March 26, 2024. How you feeling? Why are you texting me how you feeling the day after if nothing happened to me? Top of the morning, my leg is still sore and tender in that area. Overall, I'm still in shock about what happened yesterday. I'm upset about having to miss the Monday show because I read the comments and they're like, Dejon's missing and how it hurt the show. I just don't understand why he had his gun out around all of us. He ruined the whole day. I had some important stuff to say on the show too. Pause. Once I said, I just don't understand why he had his gun out around all of us. Why isn't his next message, what are you talking about? What gun? What shooting? Who was he? Why is that not his next response? His next response is, yeah, man, the show was a bummer. I saw a lot of that in the chat. And yeah, I'm still so blown away. He's always been so responsible for the last 2 years and then had to fuck it up with that dumb shit. This is from Adam22 on March 26th, the day after the shooting. So we text from the time I was in the hospital to the very next day. We're having conversations about a gun and a shooting incident. And not once did he say, what gun, what shooting, what are you talking about? You're making this up. That's not what happened. XYZ, woo, 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 woo. Like, what are we talking about? Did you catch Lily Baby video dissing Ash Bash? Yeah, I didn't care for it too much. You should have recorded your bullet wound so you have proof. You don't think I have photos of my bullet wound? Jason, I don't think he works anymore. He was like kind of Asian. He was from the Bay. Jason pulled out his phone and took photos of me showing the bullet wound, the graze mark, and XYZ, and sent them to me. I have those photos. I just never showed them. I could easily post them and shut all of this shit up, but the problem is it's in such a private area. Like, you see my underwear and everything like that. It's in a very private area. But Jason took those photos. You see both my hands in the photos. So you know I'm not holding the phone myself. Jason is the, I think it's spelled like J.H. son. He was from the Bay. He used to do like the brand. I really don't know too much what he did, but I think he was like a brand manager. Like, he was in charge of like, I don't want to say graphics, but like, he did something with the brand shit. I really never got the specifics on him. That means Adam is not a good person. I'm glad you stopped doing business with him. Absolutely. Dejon, you should create a show and take the Friday slot. Ace Boys is done. Be a smart young man. Shout out to Visionary for another $5. I have some stuff in the work. We got content. Point and shoot, yeah, because point and shoot, Sheriff, I ain't gonna lie, I hurt my feelings when you ran that video talking about I was lying about that. When, I mean, you read the text message between Adam, you read the text messages from Josh. It all lines up. My medical report. Again, why would Josh drive me to the hospital if there wasn't a shooting incident? Why would Josh drive me to Providence Hospital on March 25th in Burbank if there was no shooting, if there was no mark or blood on my leg? Would you, as an adult, take somebody to the hospital after a shooting incident if there was no mark on them whatsoever or nothing? There was nothing. Like, why would you take them to the hospital? If there's no if no gun goes off, why would you take somebody to the hospital? What was I treated for at the hospital on March 25th, 2024? Providence Hospital, Burbank. A graze on my thigh. And there's a medical report. And we read it on Community. But because I'm black and because I'm gay, y'all don't believe me. Y'all believe what these white men are saying. Pun always had your back. It should be Pun and AD at least and Heather. They fuck with you the most, in my opinion. I fuck with Pun. I don't dislike Pun. I think, let me see. What's my take on Pun? I feel like Pun could have went to bat for me a little bit more. I feel like Pun let Keem skate with the whole, because Keem was making it seem like he never made a gay joke about me. I watched What Could Go Wrong That Tuesday. So I quit Tuesday morning. When they aired the What Could Go Wrong That Tuesday, I watched it and I saw two things I saw. One, I saw Keem say that my career was over now that I wasn't at FMW, which is hilarious because in 2025, after leaving FMW, I did two big deals. The deal with Johnny Shipes and Good Talk to do the New York rap report card, and then I got hired by Complex to do the 50 best LA rappers list that they talked about on Community. And Pun was surprised that I was a part of it. And AD showed him like, no, it says by Dejon Paul in the byline. So how's my career over now that I left FMW if I'm working with two big East Coast platforms a few months later? But nonetheless, that was the first thing on What Could Go Wrong. The second thing was Keem sat up on What Could Go Wrong the day I quit and said that he never made gay jokes about me at all. He said, "What gay jokes? What are you talking about? I never made gay jokes about it." It was like, you call him Big Mama House. He was like, "That's a movie. That's a movie. That's not a gay joke. That's a movie. That's a movie." And they just let it skate. They never brought up the fact that he called me a dyke. They never brought up the fact that he called me big gender. So that's kind of my gripe against Pun would be like, as someone who I've seen hold other people accountable, he didn't hold Keem accountable for the gay jokes. And he was there when I said no more gay jokes. Because I sat in front of 80, Pun, T-Rell, and Smack and said, I don't want any more gay jokes made about me on this platform. And I meant that as a man. And as a man, your word is all you got. So if you say stop doing something as a man or stop talking about a certain subject as a man when it pertains to me and people keep doing it, that's them calling you a bitch. You feel me? No matter what the topic is. If I say, hey, I'm cool on the jokes about my shirt, bro, watch out. I don't want no more jokes made about my shirt, and niggas keep doing that, you're calling me a bitch. And since Keem wanted to call me a bitch in that way, I violated him to the ultimate degree and brought up his father and his mother being crack addicts and cooked crack for his mama. Because I made it very clear, sat on camera with the owners of this company and said, I don't want any more gay jokes. And they disrespected it. They went against it. So I don't hate Pun. I still find Pun entertaining. I still watch Community when I got time on Mondays at 3 o'clock. I check out Community, so I don't hate Pun. But I feel like Pun could have had my back more. I feel like Pun could have went to bat for me. Pun could have been like, hey, Dejon did just sit down with us a couple weeks ago and say he didn't want no more gay jokes. So whoever make a gay joke after that, it's on you. I feel like any of the owners of the company, obviously I don't expect Duno to do it, but any owners of the company could have been like, hey, if you make a gay Dejon said stop with the gay jokes. If you keep making gay jokes, whatever happened, it's out of our control. But they didn't do that. It was like, you can make a gay joke about Dejon even though he said stop. Dejon, you better not say nothing back. So that's why I'm not over there. I don't want any more gay jokes. Is it true that Whack 100 said that you ran out the building with your pants down? I didn't run, and I definitely didn't run with my pants down. Whack 100 is the because again, per our text, and it's still up. Where is it? Insane. Let's keep it off podcast and shit. I don't want people to feel scared. That's Adam. Yeah, his own employee, Whack 100, went on No Jumper after I left, and Whack is the reason y'all know about this. That's the main thing. Adam is mad at me for telling y'all about a shooting incident, but I didn't tell y'all about the shooting incident until way, way later. Whack went on, not Brick Baby show. He went on somebody's show on No Jumper and was like, y'all not gonna get no report cards for a while. The report card nigga Dejon, he's in the hospital. He's been grazed by a bullet. Whack is the one who exposed all of this. I didn't say anything on social media. Y'all thought I was sick. Y'all was saying all kind of narratives about me. Y'all had all kind of narratives about me going around in the Reddit and in the chat. They had a different guest on Here We Go Again each week. Y'all like, where's Dejon? Where's Dejon? Where's Dejon? Whack is the one who sat on camera and exposed the shooting incident. What interview did I do? What podcast did I do? What post did I make about the shooting incident before Whack talked about it and Adam talked about it on Street TV? Exactly. I listened to I was following what the text said. Insane. Let's keep it off the podcast and shit. When you say podcast and shit, I'm assuming social media. I don't want people to feel scared. Feel scared of what? If there was no shooting, what would they feel scared about? Get the Cuzzos on your show. I've had the Cuzzos on the show before. A few months ago, I had the Cuzzos on the show. Just cause the gun went off don't mean it hit you. 2 points to that. One, as an employee, a contracted employee, why am I subjugated to be around a gun going off in the first place? As a contracted employee, why is a gun going off around me in the first place? I don't work for the police force. I'm not a security guard. I've never fired a gun. I have no gun training. So any employee that was around the shooting incident on March 25th, 2024 at No Jumper should feel away. Why is a gun going off around me? That gun could have hit anybody in the head or heart or XYZ and killed them. So why is a gun going off? So that just there, that the gun going off in the building alone is wrong. Two, I have a medical report that confirms that I got hit by something. I was bleeding. They had to treat and heal the wound, treat the wound. and prescribe me something to keep it clean so that it wouldn't get infected. What happened to your lawsuit? Obviously, I did not sue No Jumper. I already explained that I wasn't. I explained on this show, Dan Lay Podcast, that I didn't sue No Jumper because every lawyer I met with, including the one that I was most likely going to go with, wanted me to go file a police report. And again, this is an accident. Even per my text with Adam, this is a workplace accident. So I didn't feel comfortable going to get a police report for an accident. It'd be different if somebody was like, fuck you, Dejon, boom, boom, boom. That's something that you go file a police report for. But if a gun just accidentally goes off, I don't think you file a police. For me, I wasn't comfortable filing a police report. And I explained that to every attorney I met with, every attorney I had a phone call with. I'm like, I'm not going to get a police report for this. And it was like, well, you're not going to get any money. And that's just what it ended up being. And I said that on a Dan Lay podcast a few months ago. Lush stated that you would have easily won an easy lawsuit with a pro bono lawyer if it had actually happened. Well, Lush is not an attorney and has no legal background. And, excuse me, like, I'm confused. If every lawyer I met with, did Lush have an attorney that would have pursued it without a police report? Because every attorney I met with was requiring that I go to the police station and get a police report. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that because it was an accident. No one intended to harm me. No one intended to physically harm me. So I'm not going to get a police report. Dejon, forget the gay jokes. Think Friday slot. All right, I got you. You want me to do something on Friday? Today's Friday. I'm doing something right now. What are you talking about? I just realized today is Friday. So yeah, we just went off on a whole tangent about the shooting incident, but the reason we're talking about that is because Adam said in this clip about me, he said that for some strange reason, he doesn't hate me as much as he hates T-Rell. And I'm telling you, the reason Adam doesn't hate me as much as he hates T-Rell is because the shooting really did happen. And I could have ended No Jumper, but chose not to move forward with that. So that's why deep down, Adam doesn't hate me because I spared him. He even said, I won't let him come back here because he might slip on a wire and try to sue me, but I'll do an interview with him over Zoom. The Blue made up a shooting incident at your office, your place of business. You're not about to sit on Zoom or no platform and talk to them. You're not about to call them and conduct phone interviews, sit on Zoom and do content, none of that. You want nothing to do with a person that makes up a total shooting story about your place of business and could have cost you your business. But if it really did happen and they chose not to end your business, then you would still harbor some love for them. You would still care about them in a way because you're like, dang, he could have ended us. You got to think, when the shit went down, he ended the whole news program. He canceled everybody's little spinoff show that they had. Remember, everybody had a different show every day. We was on Monday. I think Brick might have been, Tuesday or Wednesday. W Flame had a show. All that shit went away because he was prepared for the lawsuit, because he knew the shooting actually did happen. They fired the security guard, got rid of the security company, switched out security companies because the shooting really did happen. So that's why Adam doesn't hate me. Back to the clip at hand. So we start out with Adam agreeing with me. I can have whoever I want on my platform because I'm the owner of it. I'm the boss. Adam agrees because at No Jumper, he can have whoever he wants to, unless 4 extras in there and then Adam's getting punked out and marked out. Then he moves on to say that he should hate Dejon more than he hates T-Rell, but he doesn't, and I just explained at length why he doesn't. What also bothered me was Adam said that I'm the same height sitting down, standing up. That's not true. That's not true. Oh, shit. That's not true at all. I'm taller than I was sitting down. So stop capping. What are you talking about? I'm 5'5", 175 pounds, baby. Stop hating. Oh, man. All right, so that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't understand why the thing is titled I don't understand why it's titled, let me read it one more time. Adam reacts to Dejon getting marked out on his own podcast. Who marked me out? Who marked me out? Where did Rich Trapper mark me out? Many would say I got the best of Rich Trapper. Yeah, 175 pounds. Many would say I got the best of Rich Trapper in the argument. Because Rich Trapper was in the wrong. I just read a whole bunch of comments that prove that he ruined the Halloween episode with his attitude towards Bo Jackman. Bo Jackman calling me and asking me to take down the episode and delete the clips, and asking me to ask Rich Trapper to delete the clips off his social media proves that he ruined the episode. Why is our guest calling and asking me to take the episode down? Because they were that disrespected on camera. When Bo went back and watched that, he was like, dang, like, I can't get a word in. Every time Bo said, ooh, this nigga like, what the fuck you say? Get the fuck out of here. Culture vulture. You a culture vulture. You a racist. You don't like black people. You's a bitch. You's a this. You's a that. Just on his bumper. It's like, bro, chill out. It's the Halloween episode. We got on costumes. Visionary who's obsessed with me. Adam outsmarted you. You lost, stupid. I don't feel like Adam outsmarted me. I feel like I stalled the situation. That was my joke about Jala. The 16 steals all my stuff. Is really weird. Sheriff, point and shoot. That nigga's talking like you now. Like when I watch a point and shoot video, then I go watch No Jumper. Adam's literally talking like you. Visionary, thank you for the $2 and all the other super chats you sent. Clearly, I'm not on here begging for money. I'm sitting in my own space. Oh, this is my last point. He said that, well, we already talked about it, but Adam was basically saying like he wouldn't hire me back in No Jumper. And it's like, when have I ever asked for a job back in No Jumper? I signed a lease for the office I'm in. I'm stuck here, if anything, for a while. I have my own platform. Like, I'm confused. Like, I came to No Jumper with my own platform. Let's talk about how I ended up working at No Jumper. I went to be interviewed by Adam. Adam made a video saying, I think Dejon is right about the LA Rap Report card. These LA rappers do suck. They need to step it up. And then he interviewed me. And then next thing you know, what's her name? Laura emailed me offering me a job. So I had my own platform and my own business before I worked at No Jumper. So why would I be asking you to work there now after the shooting incident? That's crazy. That's just crazy. Again, I do miss partnering with Almighty Suspect. But other than that, nah. Why would you stall the situation? That's for me to know and for you to send another super chat about. Back to a Dan Late podcast. Enough of that No Jumper shit. Adam, thank you for the free promo for my podcast. Us Arguing got us covered by one of the biggest platforms out here on the West Coast. Oh, damn, it's so much to talk about with that damn clip. I can't get past it. He also was insinuating that I'm a bottom feeder for inviting No Jumper hosts to a Dan Link podcast, and I've explained this on the show. People say all the time, including in the very video we're talking about in the comments, we miss Dejon and No Jumper. We want to see Dejon and No Jumper XYZ. So this is like a happy medium. These past few weeks where I've had Lush, Brandon, Tam, and Hefe, we had Munchie B a couple months ago. Those episodes is an opportunity for you guys to see the Jean Paul podcast with No Jumper host. Only difference is ain't no guns going off around here. We're in a safe environment potting. We're not sitting up here talking about gang politics. We sit up here talking about music. That's the difference. But so that's the only reason I've had No Jumper hosts on this platform lately is because I've been seeing such a demand for me to be on No Jumper, even though we both know that's not going to happen. So this is like the compromise. I'm not in No Jumper, but you still get to see me podcast with certain people from No Jumper. Like that Lush episode was gold. It hit 10K, and I feel like if Ash Rash hadn't fell asleep and had a little bit more energy, it would have did a little better than that. But the conversation Lush and I had about the LA Rap Report card, the latest one, and just our takes on LA rap and even the new rappers he put me on that I wasn't too familiar with, and our banter, our debates, our hip-hop debates, golden content. And Hefe, he was cool. He had more banter with Rich Trapper, but it was cool. Tam and I have amazing chemistry on camera. Munchie B, obviously being closest to Ash Bash, they had great chemistry, but Munchie participated in my conversations about Draco versus YG influence and Inglewood rappers in specific. So yeah, fix your audio. What's wrong with my audio? Almighty Dejon has a crush on Almighty Suspect. Yuck. Can y'all hear me? Test. Let me pull up the OBS. Hold on. Test. Test. Can y'all hear me? We should be good. It's showing up on my end. It's lagging a bit. Okay, I'll stop for a second. So yeah, Adam said a bunch of bullshit. He's a punk ass bitch. A nigga threw a drink or threw something at you and you didn't put your hands on him and you flinched like a bitch. We've seen your co-host talk to you like you was a mark ass bitch. We've seen people come up to your office and press you when you went and ran and hid behind AD. And I'll beat the brakes off of you. There's not too much I can really say to Adam. I do appreciate the promo. I definitely appreciate the promo he threw with the clip. I just don't understand why it's called Dejon Gets Marked Out on his own podcast. Like, that's just propaganda. That's not true. But maybe if you thought that's what would get people to click it, cool. Let's read some of the comments on it before we get off of here. Because I even saw some comments like, where was the mark out? Here we go.
I saw this title.
Two homosexuals get into a zesty confrontation should have been the caption. That's hilarious. Dejon is insufferable, but where was the mark out? That's from Classic H. Exactly. He said, Vuitton Don 13, remind Wack you're the boss the next time he up there pushing that fake paperwork and blatantly lying. Smartino 824, the whole bottom feed thing is literally what you did with the Kevin McCall interview. Exactly. Having big deal up there with him and T-Rell got into it. Yeah, like, first off, you're a bottom feeder of the whole culture. You bottom feed off a culture you don't even belong to that you secretly low-key probably hate. You bottom feed off of hip-hop. You're a culture vulture. Like, if somebody, and then you get mad when somebody take no-jumper personalities and profit off of that, or get views and get clicks off of no-jumper hosts, but you get views and clicks off of hip-hop after doing nothing for it. How he gonna say something? This is from Vermis De Niro 2113. How he gonna say somebody got hold when he literally been hold thousands of times in his own show? He's fired people because they hold him and kick people off because of it. He had folks telling him who he can and can't bring on his own damn building. Dude, a clown. He's trying to talk like the sheriff. That's a fact. Almighty Jala, 10 hours ago. Bring Dejon back. We all know he was good on the pods. And those type of comments is why I have no jumper host on frequently, because people still want to see me potting with those people. Audio fine, refresh, still in and out, but we hear you. You should fire Grindr and hire DJ Blue Shirt. DJ Artistic? Yeah, I feel like his music knowledge was definitely there. Yeah, so make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel. New Danley podcast episode this week, next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Normally Wednesday, but we're going to do Tuesdays for a minute. Let's close out getting back to the podcast. What guests do y'all want to see on the show? Who should we bring up? And how do you guys think I should handle the Ash Bash situation? So if Ash Bash keeps showing up late or misses any more important episodes, or, you know, is having moments on the show where she's like lost in the conversation, how do you guys feel like I should handle the Ash Bash situation? We know that I feel like I checked Rich Trapper for what he did to Bo. I don't think Rich Trapper's going to be rude to any more guests in the near future, but I didn't get to have the conversation with Ash Bash on camera because we had a guest, DJ Artistic, and I didn't want it to go left and be rude to him. So how do you guys think I should handle the Ash Bash situation? Do you guys? Obviously, I'm not trying to fire Ash Bash. I just want to get her to show up on time and not miss any more important episodes. I do not want to fire her. I just want her to show up on time. I just want Ash Bash to be a little bit more professional. Bring on Gina Views. I wouldn't mind doing some content with Gina at some point. When we see each other, we back on speaking terms. We squashed our little stupid ass beef. So I wouldn't mind doing some content with her eventually. Got to keep Ash engaged in the conversation. Yeah, but like even when we was talking about the big deal situation, she's like, what are you talking about? It's like, girl, the topics are in the group chat. And I put them in the group chat at least the day before. Like, you follow Yazzers, don't you? Like, you follow Keyboard Warrior, don't you? Like, how you not keeping up with the space enough where you don't know who Big Deal is and about him going to the Apollo XYZ? So it's kind of hard to keep her engaged because if you notice, a lot of time, Ash Bash conversations on the show are about her. It's like whatever she got into that week, whatever she got going on, her store, her music. Anytime I have a conversation about LA female rappers, she make it seem like I'm talking about her, and she bring it back to her and what she doing, and the tape she working on, what she got going. And it's like, no, I'm not interviewing you, baby. You're not here as a rapper right now. You're here as a podcast co-host. But I will try to do a better job at keeping Ash engaged in the conversation. She be looking bored. She be on her phone a lot. Really crash out on her next week to get it behind y'all. The heart collide. Let her be late. Dejon, don't fire Ash Bash. Just pipe her down. That'll get her to act right. Get out of it. Come on now. Lord99, bring Frosty. Ash Hefe. That's right. Ash don't give a fuck about nothing but what her store sign say. Ash need a fidget toy. I was thinking about getting her some lanyard. I swear to God. I was going to get Ash Bash some lanyard or something to like tweet her with during the episode instead of being on her phone. That way she can like stay present, stay awake, stay present. I think she'll figure it out. Maybe it's just a series of unfortunate events. Tell her no perk 30s till after pop. I don't think Ash pops perk 30s. I think she takes pills, but I don't know. I like, who said it? Who said the best thing? Vuitton Don 13. Got to keep Ash engaged in the conversation. I will take some accountability and do a better job moving forward of trying to keep Ash Bash engaged in the conversation. I already said I'm not firing Ash Bash right now. If I fire Ash Bash right now, I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the villain. Y'all not going to care about the sleeping on camera, the being late, the missing episodes, the not knowing about topics, the intellectual disparity. Y'all not going to care about none of that. All you're going to be like, oh, Dejon tripping again. He power tripping. He's a bully. He can't get along with nobody. He's the problem. It's not going to be, oh, Dejon just doesn't want his co-host fucking up like that. So I ain't thinking about firing Ash Bash right now. I just trying to figure out how can I get Ash Bash here on time every week so that we can start the pod on time. I hate when we be having y'all wait 30 minutes. We supposed to be live at 9 o'clock. I want the intro playing at 9 o'clock and us live by 9:02, 9:03. I hate when we starting at 9:30, 9:40. I hate that shit. Because I know what it's like to be waiting on Community or waiting on Ace Boys or waiting on this show, that show that I used to watch. I know the feeling. That shit is annoying. Keep Ashley. Also add Zan Princess. Where the fuck she been? Ash Bash is my sitch, gang. Shout out to Ash Bash. Her and Lily Baby in the middle of this beef. I feel like the record Lily Baby dropped today. She rapped over No Vaseline, Gang Gang, and 50 Cent Mini Man. It really didn't go together. She put 3 beats in one. She went to Inglewood Cemetery. I'm glad she shot a visual, but her bars was weak. The disc was weak. I did not like Lily Baby's response. Bring on Free. She interviewed Zoe Sama this week. I don't know who Free is. Zan Princess looks whooped now. Zan Princess used to be pretty. Zan Princess used to be, when I met her a few times, she was pretty and Zan was cool. Shout out to Zan Princess. I don't know what she look like now. Let me see the Reddit. And next week, Monday stream, I'm going to know how to work OBS so that y'all can see the shit I be looking at. I promise you. I might actually have somebody come pull up over the weekend and show me how to work OBS. I'm only used to working Streamlabs, and I just learned how to use that shit. But OBS is better quality. Let me check the Reddit, and then we're going to get out of here. Have anybody said you sound like CeeLo the singer? I have a couple friends that call me CeeLo, and I hate it. They also say I sound like Cleveland Brown Jr. What the fuck? YBN Almighty J interview. I just did a screen with YB and Namir at Young Mike's house like a month ago. Namir was cool. I hadn't seen him in a while. Free's on the Truth Hurts podcast. She's from Bakersfield. She a nice, intelligent sister. Shout out to her. Shout out to Bakersfield. All right. I'm not seeing too much. Why the homegirl be doing her voice like that? Tab do that. I think it's cute. I like when Tab do that. Like she do like a little voice. She be like, if you know what I mean. Like she just add like a little something at the end of it. And that's why I say Tab remind me of Cynthia Bailey from Real Housewives of Atlanta, because Cynthia Bailey does that as well. Tam asked if their beef with BOS. Oh, I saw that. I saw TF Third. I saw TF Third say that call out, say he wants to fight T-Rell and talk shit about T-Rell and shit like that. And good for TF Third. I feel like first off, he a cool dude, and I feel like maybe this is his way of just getting some more attention, getting more of a narrative. You feel me? Obviously, the easiest thing to do in this space is to find somebody and beef with them. So hopefully this, gets his engagement up as a host. He needs a storyline. I've been trying to get him to pull up to a Dan Lay podcast, but the issue with that is him and Rich Trapper just don't get along at all. So that would be worse than the Bo Jackman episode. T-Rell and Tab both talk the same. I feel like T-Rell reminds me of he sounds a little bit like Sway in the morning. Like when I listen to Sway, he sounds like Sway. Obviously not as intelligent, nowhere near as intelligent. He has the same voice of a Sway in the morning to me, as far as their tonality. How are T-Rell and AD off camera? AD is cool on and off camera. T-Rell is cool when you're in the room with him. When you're not around him, he'll switch up. But as long as you're in the room with T-Rell, he's cool. AD is cool regardless. Like, I ain't never seen AD talking shit about me on camera. Like, nah. Even when we had the whole incident, AD's the one who apologized to me. T-Rell never apologized about the first No Jumper interview, but AD apologized when I pulled back up for the second time. And that's why we still had a relationship we have now. Like, that's the homie. Anything he need, anything he do, I'm supporting. And like I said, I still watch Community every Monday, 3 o'clock. Sometime I catch the Thursday show, but I definitely catch the Monday show. I don't miss that. Compton Rick Rock would be good for your show. I'm not familiar with his content. And him and Rich Trapper getting along, is that going to go left? I'm not familiar with his content, though. He a Gemini, you can't hold switching up against him. I mean, I hate when grown men blame they shit on their zodiac, because I'm an Aries. Is that why I'm so bossy and controlling and dominant? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, one more time, let me shout out Junkie Cartel before I get off of here. If y'all got any questions, make sure y'all hop in the chat, ask me the questions, like this video. If you send a super chat, I'll answer a tough question. If you got a regular question, just go ahead and ask it. In the meantime, here's a medium t-shirt from Junkie Cartel. Here's a medium t-shirt from Junkie Cartel. How long do you think Lush has to live? I hope Lush lives a long, successful life. I really fuck with Lush, believe it or not. I fuck with Lush. I fuck with Lush just based off his hip-hop knowledge. He's my brother in hip-hop. Shout out to Lush. Bots in the chat. Cocaine bots in the chat. All right, shout out Junkie Cartel for the shirt, the sweatpants, the sweatsuit, rather, the medium sweatsuit, the motion hoodie, motion sweatsuit, the hat that I can't wait to wear. Shout out to Junkie Cartel. Pull up on Melrose and get your motion gear, man. Please get your motion gear. This shit is dope. Can't wait to wear it. I love free stuff. It's one of my favorite parts about being in the business right now. I love a whole stream going over the Pitchfork Top 100 Rap Album List. We could get to that. Show the shirt tag. Y'all messy. Y'all messy as fuck. All right, Pitchfork 25 Best Rap Albums of All Time according to readers. 1, Nas Illmatic. I'm not mad at that. 2, Wu-Tang, Enter 36 Chambers. 3, Kendrick To Pimp a Butterfly. 4, Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. I've heard that. Jason Cash told me that Pimp a Butterfly is better than Good Kid, Mad City. What y'all think? 5, Mad Villain, Mad Villainy. Not in the top 5. 6, Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. That's cool. 7, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye. Outkast at 8, Aquamini. 9, Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. I Will Have Life After Death over that. 10, Public Enemy. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. White people love giving that social conscious shit such high rank. I don't think it has the best replay value. Now, its themes might be just as relevant in 2025, but I don't think that you sit and just cut that album on and really enjoy it. Jizza Liquid Swords way too high at 11. De La Soul 3 Feet High and Rising also a little too high, but it's definitely in the top 25. But I'm not having that 12. Outkast Steakonia 14. Tribe Called Quest Midnight Mart. How do you say that word? I know the album they're talking about. I love how when I start talking about a hip hop list, the viewership goes down. When I talk about all the no jumper bullshit and podcast drama, that's what I be talking about. And 15, Beastie Boys Paul's Boutique. That's also a little high, but impact wise, I get it. 16, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That's too low. That should be top 10. 17, Dr. Dre The Chronic. I'm trying to see, is that the first? No, we got 2 Kendrick albums. Okay. Dr. Dre The Chronic. I like 2001 better than I like Chronic 2000. 18, Kanye Yeezus. This list is bunk. Why is Yeezus in the top 25 rap albums? Jay-Z The Blueprint at 19. That's cool. College Dropout at 20. That's cool. Mobb Deep The Infamous. That's a little low. Raekwon Only Built for Cuban Links 22. That's a little low. That should be in the teens. Kendrick Lamar Damn. That should not be on this list. It's a dope project, but come on. Eminem Marshall Mathers LP. I like that at 24. Ghostface Killer Supreme Clientele. That's a little high. I didn't see Biggie Life After Death. I didn't see Lil Kim Hardcore. I didn't see Foxy Brown Il Nana. I didn't see Snoop Dogg Doggy Style album. I didn't see what Tupac album was on here. What Tupac album is on here? There's no Tupac album on Pitchfork's 25 Best Rap Albums of All Time. What are we talking about? List over. No Tupac album is crazy. Who's in your top 5 non-LA rappers? Like you want current or like all time? Like current, Lil Shimmy, Skilla Baby, Gunna, Dave East, I listen to him a lot, and Larry June. Larry June's from the Bay. Marshall Mathers LP was overrated, to be honest. No Pac or J. Cole. List is boo-boo. J. Cole definitely shouldn't be on the top 25 list. To be honest, I was about to leave. It felt like school. Well, I am the rap report card guy. When I start talking about hip-hop, it feels like school. Thanks for that critique. I'll try to make it not feel like school. Candy versus Kit Kat or Twix? Which one should I eat? What's the deal? I'm at the office. What's going on? Huh? Do I listen to G Herbo? Do I listen to G Herbo? No, you just look like him. I don't listen to that. Like what the fuck? Hold on. All right, my fault. I got a phone call from the homie. He wanted to talk about something important. I'm sorry, y'all. I was being rude. All right. Am I unmuted? Yeah, man. Test. G Herbo is the most lyrical rapper, 30 seconds down. Oh, y'all can hear that? Mike in Africa is crazy. I turned it off. Adam22 to be called as a witness in my lawsuit. Shout out to the sheriff. Shout out to Point and Shoot. This is what you get for thinking you're too good for headphones. I'm not wearing those motherfuckers. I have headphones. I'm not wearing them. No Tupac on that list is crazy. Pitchfork got me fucked up. We on the tail end of this show. I asked y'all, should I have a Kit Kat or a motherfucking Twix? Which one is it? I still wait on y'all to answer. I'm sitting here starving. This is how we end the live. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Do you want me to eat a Kit Kat or a Twix? Bro, just give it up. Kit Kat or Twix? Twix. All right, we out of here. I appreciate y'all. This has been a dope Danilay live stream. I'm back on Monday. I'll have shit on the screen. You can wear earbuds. That makes more sense. I'll have shit on the screen Monday. I thank you guys for tuning in. I see Keyboard Warrior already clipped it up. 175 pounds. Yep, wear medium, eat both, and get Snickers. I'm not the biggest Snickers fan. But all right, y'all. We off of this. Appreciate y'all. I'm back Monday, 3 o'clock.